We're meeting all the Warriors front office and members of the coaching staff on Warriors.com. And Larry Riley, the general manager, we know a little bit about him. Obviously, he's been with the Warriors for several years. But I want the video resume here, okay? I mean, I know you played high school baseball. I know you played baseball at Chadron State. How did you become a coach, then executive? Where'd you go from Chadron State as a baseball player? What was the next step?
I went back home to Indiana, started coaching high school basketball. And was an assistant baseball coach. Again, a dual purpose kind of a thing. And wanted to keep trying to play baseball and did that semi-pro for several years. And finally, at age 25 or so, people came to me and said, look, you're just not going to make it. Would you like to start coaching baseball full time? And as much as I enjoyed it, no, I want to coach basketball. To me, that's everyday stuff where you're working with players and you have the excitement of games. And it was a bigger game at the high school level. It was the biggest game in the state of Indiana, of course. And I chose to go in that direction. Have never regretted it. So 3 years of high school basketball coaching, and then went back to school and got a master's degree. Went to Southeast Missouri State University as a graduate assistant. And again, assistant baseball coach and freshman basketball coach. And after that year, it took me a little over a year to get that degree. I got a break and got a chance to go to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, UWM, as an assistant basketball coach. And I spent 6 years as an assistant coach, then got the head coaching job at Chadron State College where I graduated.
Your alma mater, right?
My alma mater. And at the time I was coaching basketball at Chadron State College, the baseball coach got sick, and they came to me and asked me if I would coach the baseball team.
So you're on the basketball team and the baseball team?
That's right. Coached them both. And just had a great time with it. And then I went from Chadron State College to Eastern New Mexico University, spent 10 years there. And from there, then I got a break from Del Harris, who was the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. And he had been a longtime friend. And he offered me an opportunity to get started in the NBA at the entry level as a scout and video coordinator.
Now, what's the biggest change initially? And, you know, short answer, but from college to your jump to the NBA?
I have to say to you, I was absolutely terrified. I had spent virtually 19 years coaching in college and 3 years in high school, and I'm jumping into the NBA, and I walk out to practice, and there's Jack Sikma and Sidney Moncrief, and so you have to get over that. And you have to understand that you do know enough of the game, but you also, when you sit in coaches' meetings, understand that you're at the introductory level. While you know a good bit of basketball, most of these guys know more than you do. So there's only one way out. Outwork them and get to the point where you know what they know. And get to the point where you can contribute. And that's what I attempted to do in starting out there in Milwaukee. Dell told me that he thought that it took a guy 3 years to learn the NBA from top to bottom. And that was just when the video stuff was beginning to come in and be a part of everybody's organization. He said that may accelerate the process. And so after 2 years of doing that, he moved me to the bench as an assistant coach. And I stayed there for 4 years. Then after that, I had a total of 6 years in Milwaukee.
Okay, so then how do you get from Milwaukee to Vancouver?
What happened with that one was that Stu Jackson had been the basketball coach at the University of Wisconsin. And he got the job as the president and GM of the Vancouver Grizzlies. I had a reputation locally in Milwaukee, and he had talked to enough people around the NBA that he called me and asked me if I would consider coming out and interviewing for the job as a player personnel director. But at that time, it was a number 2 position in the organization, and I thought it was a good career move. Having looked back on it, that was a dangerous move. I don't recommend to people that you get involved in expansion athletics at the professional level. That one was a tough one.
Assistant in Dallas with Don Nelson, assistant here with the Warriors. Which is better in terms of being an executive or being a coach? Are you always a coach at heart when you're an executive? Is it a different skill set?
It's a different skill set. There's no question about that. I've always been happy whatever I was doing. I have enjoyed the game of basketball, and I've always felt blessed to have a job, whether it was at the Division II level or at the NBA level. I really worked because I enjoyed the game. I was asked, did I miss the bench when I moved to the front office?
Right.
Frankly, 2 or 3 or 4 games you do, but you're so busy and you're locked into basketball that it really isn't an issue. But I will say this, the greatest walk in life is the walk from the locker room, down the tunnel, and out to the floor. And that's something that I've done enough that at least I've done it and enjoyed it. And I don't know, I'm glad I had that experience. I don't have to have it anymore, but that is one great walk, especially if you're with a good team.